Good afternoon. This is the weekly weather briefing for Thursday, February 25th from your National Weather Service office in New Orleans, Baton Rouge. This is meteorologist Tim Destry. Here's our overview upcoming here for the next several days. We're going to have areas of fog and some even patchy dense fog possible for several nights and mornings on through the weekend and into Monday morning. The exact location and extent of the fog and how widespread it is remains to be determined, as is usually the case with fog. However, just be aware that there could be dense fog advisories issued at some point for many of these periods, particularly for late night and early morning hours, and particularly near bodies of water, such as the tidal lakes like Lake Pontchartrain and the coastal areas and some of the rivers. Also, a few thunderstorms could occur over the weekend, but it looks like a better chance of rain and some thunderstorms comes in on Monday. We are looking at kind of an unsettled pattern with mild to warm temperatures that are going to keep some chance of showers and a few thunderstorms in the forecast going into the middle of next week. However, as you'll see, generally rainfall amounts aren't going to be too high in our area. We are looking at the Pearl River is in flood for Bogalusa and the Pearl River locations, and that's going to likely be through early next week at least. And here's the graphic depicting the area where the flood warning is along the Pearl River. Looking at our forecast here for the next 7 days, this is for Baton Rouge and New Orleans. You can see generally temperatures staying on the mild to almost warm side with some readings almost approaching 80 degrees, especially for Baton Rouge here as we go into the weekend. Some areas even popped up just today, even into the upper 70s with just a little bit of sun. Once again, those rain chances starting out through tomorrow and Friday night, not that high, staying generally less than 15%. And then coming up a little bit, but not too high over the weekend, generally in the range of, say 20 to 30% maybe on Sunday, possibly up to maybe 40% around Baton Rouge. And some of that rain chance goes up, probably peaks right now the way it looks on Monday with a weather system coming through, a little bit of a cold front, drying out the air just a little bit. And then as we get into Wednesday, probably looking at a little bit drier, much lower rain chances at that time. For Gulfport and Macomb, Mississippi, generally the same story in those locations here going on into the weekend and early next week. As far as our storm total rainfall from all these weather systems going through the middle of next week, it looks like the heaviest rain areas are going to be from, say, northern Louisiana and even north of there into Arkansas in a strip well across to our north of our region down here, closer to the Gulf Coast. We're looking at maybe an inch to an inch and a half in the southern tier of counties through Macomb, Mississippi, and coming down into Louisiana and coastal Mississippi, southeast Louisiana. Amounts generally lighter, maybe as high as a half inch to an inch, but some areas further south probably not seeing much more than a quarter inch, maybe a little bit higher. Of course, as we see with bands of showers and sometimes when thunderstorms develop, sometimes some locally heavier amounts can occur. Looking further out, a 6 to 10 day period, just general probabilities of temperatures. We're looking at generally higher probabilities for above normal temperatures for this period going into the early part of March 2nd through the 6th. And as far as rainfall, looking like maybe just a little bit drier than normal in our region. And then 8 to 14 days out, this goes a little bit deeper into March, like up to March 10th. Kind of a similar trend. It looks like much of the central and eastern part of the U.S. is looking at probabilities for warmer than normal temperatures. And down in our region near the Gulf Coast, trending towards a little bit drier than normal as well. So looking at our summary, Once again, the fog is going to be around at times, especially during nighttime, late night, and early morning hours going on through the weekend and Monday morning. And some of the unsettled pattern bringing some chances of rain by late in the weekend, early next week, and continuing on possibly for a little while into the middle of next week. And then the Pearl River still remaining in flood. So that's it for the briefing for today. Everyone have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. As always, remember you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook and our webpage.